Okay, let me share this with you real quick so you could pass the state notary exam, the California state notary exam on the first try. Okay, if you don't know these words for the test, you're not going to pass the test. Let me be clear with you. I passed the test on the first try, and you can too. We're going to break down the top 30 words you need to know on this test from the easiest to the hardest. Hardest is at the end, baby. Let's go. First thing you need to know is what is a notary public? You better know this. What is a notary public? Notary public is a trusted public official, that will be you, approved by your state to witness, document signatures, and prevent fraud. Remember that. One of your top jobs is to prevent fraud. They will talk about this on the test. Notary public. Number two, principal. A person, your client, basically, the person who is actually signing the document and needs the notary service. I'll repeat, the principal is not the principal at your school, okay? The person who is actually signing the document and needs the documents process done. That's your client. Number three, satisfactory evidence. Satisfactory evidence. You're really going to need to know this for your job and for the test. Proving you are who you say you are using a trusted ID, like a current driver's license or a current passport. Okay. So satisfactory evidence, when your client comes to you, they better be able to prove who they are. That's called satisfactory evidence. And that's usually through a trusted ID, like a driver's license or passport. But for your state, make sure you know all the IDs that are acceptable. Okay. Military IDs. Make sure you know the parameters. All right. Number four, venue. All right. Venue is the exact location, the state and the county where the notary signing takes place. So when you're doing the documents and it's being signed, it's going to ask on there the state and the county. That is the venue. What did I say? Venue, the exact location, state and county where the notary closing takes place. Five. If you made it to five, you're bronze. Bronze. You haven't hit the gold, you're bronze. Number five, your official state. Oh, I'm sorry. Notary journal. You need this in California. Notary journal, your official state required logbook where you write down every single notary act you perform. So know that you need the notary journal in California. Yes. This is for the test. Extra tips from Mr. Rogers. Know you need to know that. Know who's responsible for safety. Know who's responsible if it's lost. Know who has to be contacted if it's lost. Know these things. But what is a notary journal? Your official state required logbook where you write down every single transaction that you perform. All right, listen, we're moving into deeper water now. You're already bronze. All right. But that's all you are. You have not passed the test. You got to keep going. If you're with me, put 5 in there. Number 6. Ooh, you better know this. Acknowledgement. Number 6. I'll repeat myself. Acknowledgement. A notary act where the signer proves their identity and admits they signed the document willingly. Okay. The signer is going to prove their identity and admit that they signed the document willingly. Third time, acknowledgement, because you better know it for the test. A notary act where the signer proves their identity and admits, yes, I signed it willingly. And on the flip side, a jurat, you better know that. You better know the differences. I hope you're taking note of recording this, or just play it 100 times in your car. It doesn't matter. Jurat, a notary act where the signer swears or affirms under oath that the information on the document is 100% true. Okay? The difference here, a jurat, they're doing what? Swearing under oath. Not doing that with an acknowledgement. Again, jurat, swearing under oath that the information in the document is 100% true. And speaking of oaths, what is an oath? Better know what an oath is. A solemn promise to who? A solemn promise to God that the statement is true, making it basically a legal document, legally responsible for their honesty. An oath, you're swearing that what you're saying is true. An oath, you're swearing that what you're saying is true. Number 9, you're almost over to bronze, silver status. Number 9, affirmation. Affirmation, a solemn promise on your personal honor without mentioning God that the statement is true. Before we said an oath, then you were swearing. This time it's an affirmation. So you're just making a solemn promise on your honor that is true. All right. Uh, this word, can barely pronounce it. Affiant. 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 The specific person who was making the statement under oath or affirmation. So whoever that person is who is making the statement of the oath or affirmation, that's the affiant. All right. All right. Now you are in the silver zone. You're 1/3. Remember, this is 30 words that you have to know. You're already at 10. Okay. The specific person, that's now there. So anyway, congratulations. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Subscribing witness. You need to know this. Subscribing witness. Someone who watches the person sign, the principal, we mentioned that earlier. Someone who's watching them sign and then proves that person's identity to who you, the notary. So basically, in some states, if the person doesn't have ID, they allow a witness. They allow a witness to come in and say, yeah, that's the person. That would be the subscribing witness. No, if you're in California, you better know this. If you're in a different state and listening to this, know if it counts for your state. A subscribing witness is the person watching the principal, your customer, sign and saying, yes, that is the person who says they are. A credible witness, a trustworthy person who knows the signer and swears to the notary that the signer is who they say they are. A credible witness is swearing to you that the signer is who they say they are. Credible witnesses are acceptable in California, so you better know this. A credible witnesses. Okay. How about an impartial witness? Now, I don't know about this one. Every test is different. I didn't see anything about impartial witness on the test, but it comes up as one of the top vocabulary words that you better know. So, impartial witness is a notary who has no personal or financial interest in the document being signed. A partial witness is a notary who has no personal or financial interest in the document being signed. Conflict of interest, that's huge. Conflict of interest, breaking this rule has gotten many notaries in trouble, made them lose their ability to be notaries, and some have even gone to jail because of what? Conflict of interest. So be careful. A conflict of interest is a situation where a notary stands to gain money or benefits from signing, which is illegal. Conflict of interest, situation where the notary stands to gain money or benefits from the signatures that are taking place, right? And that's illegal. Perjury, we've heard this on TV. Perjury, we've heard this in law cases. Perjury. Perjury, the serious crime of lying under oath, which can lead to prison. The serious crime of lying under oath is perjury. Lying under oath is perjury. Forgery. Can you imagine forgery? Are you going, forgery. The crime of falsely signing someone else's name on a legal document. You know that. You forge a signature. That quick moment, jail. That quick moment, you've broken the law. I know life insurance agents who have lost their jobs or lost their license for doing things like that. For saying, okay, they did the business and the person forgot one signature. They knew they wanted to do, they did everything, but that person forgot one signature, this one little signature. And they're like, man, I'll just go ahead and sign that because we know the person wanted it. You get caught, which a lot of times you do, computers can scan and recognize signatures. That is considered forgery, and you're in trouble. Statute. A written law passed by the state legislation that you must follow as a notary. A statute is a written law that you must follow as a notary. A written law that you must follow as a notary. That is a statute. Civil liability. That means somebody's liable. Somebody's going to have to pay. Being legally and financially responsible to pay for damages. Civil liability. Being legally and financially responsible to pay for damages. Sometimes if it's just from a mistake, right? Criminal liability. Ooh. Being faced to face fines or jail time for breaking notary laws on purpose. Criminal liability is when you break the notary laws on purpose. Criminal liability is when you break the notary law on purpose. Why do I keep repeating it? Because repetition, I'm going to brainwash you to know these, and you're going to pass on the first try. Let's go, baby. Let's go. 20, misdemeanor. Misdemeanor, a minor crime that can result in fines or up to a year in jail for notary misconduct. Misdemeanor, notary misconduct, misdemeanor, jail time. All right, boom, you're at 20. You're at 20. We're almost done. You're a gold test taker. Let's get you to gold status. Let's get you to elite status. Let's get you to passing on the first try. Let's go. 21. A felony. A felony is a major serious crime, like making a fake notary seal. That could be a felony. Okay. And it carries a heavy punishment. Felony carries heavy punishment. Felony is a crime. Revocation, like to revoke. That's if you do something wrong as a notary and the state permanently cancels your notary license. Revocation or revoked when they permanently cancel your license. Hey, don't fall for it. Don't do anything silly. Don't get your license revoked. Suspension. Okay, now the state has power if you do something wrong, and they can temporarily do suspension, which means temporarily lock your notary license so you can't work. Temporarily lock your notary license so you can't work. Again, temporarily locking your notary license so you cannot work. This is important for California. Number 24, Secretary of State. The Secretary of State is who oversees all the license for notaries in California. That's who you're going to tell if you move. That's who you're going to tell if you, let's see, I don't know what else. Move, make any changes. You have to let the Secretary of State know. All right. Power of attorney. Power of attorney, a legal document giving one person the authority to sign or make decisions for another person. All right. Legal document giving one person the authority to sign and make decisions for another person. All right. That's good. Let's go to number 26. We're almost done. Deed of trust. All right. This list is going to help you pass on the first time try. So I hope you're still here. I hope you're still listening. Let's go. Deed of trust, a legal document used in real estate that secures a home loan against the property. Deed of trust is a legal document used in real estate that secures a home loan against the property. What does that have to do with being a notary? Well, shoot, that's where a lot of the money is when you're doing these loan docs. A lot of the money is when you're doing the loan docs. So you better know what a deed of trust is. Apostille is a special certificate attached by the state to prove the notary's signature is valid for use in another country. That is another form or another revenue stream doing apostille work. Okay. So I'll repeat that. Apostille, a special certificate attached by the state to prove a notary's signature is valid for use in another country. All right. Number 28, protest. This is rare. Protest. It's not out there with signs in this case. A protest is a rare technical notary act certifying that a financial payment or note was not paid. So a protest is basically certifying a financial act was not paid. Was not paid. Remember that. Willfully. That's just doing something on purpose rather than accident. If you do something that's a conflict of interest on purpose, you willfully did it. Willfully did it. Doing it on purpose. Last word that you seriously need to know for the California state exam so that you can know the language is negligence. Negligence. Failing to use proper care to follow state rules, which leads to a mistake or misconduct, is negligent. It was a mistake. But wait a minute. Is this something you should have known? Were you negligent in the way that you did it? Did you make a mistake on a document that should have been fixed? Or you just were being not focused? That's negligence. So the bottom line, if you made it to number 30, you're on the way to passing the test in the first time. You can't learn everything in 14 minutes, right? So play this again and again, and go ahead and check out my other videos that teach you how to pass the Notary exam on the first try. Got some practice tests there. And I want to let you know, on weekends now, I am doing private coaching to get people through the exam on the first try. Private coaching to get you through the exam on the first try. I believe in you. I know you can do it. Mr. Rogers here, and I'll see you on the next video.